Hello listeners, I will read for you a simple, kind of nice, simple text about Juan, and I will translate it in English and explain a little bit of what's going on here. And hopefully it is useful for those who struggle with studying Spanish. And as you hear me, I'm not a Spanish native, I'm native Russian, but I have studied Spanish a lot, and I worked in Mexico a few months teaching English Russian, and I know Spanish a lot. Okay, so let's go here. Hola. Hola is hello. Hola. And as you see in Spanish language, we put exclamation mark in the end and in the front, and in front is upside down. And we don't pronounce the first H, hola. ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué tal? How are you? ¿Qué tal? How are things? ¿Qué tal? ¿Qué is a question word. It's with acento escrito here, with written accent. Accents in Spanish language only one way, not like in French both ways. Both directions only one way, and they are actually very easy because there is a rule with accents. So Spanish accents are easy. We are not discussing accents here, so just general knowledge here for you. ¿Qué tal? So again, the question, short question, remember this question, nice question. ¿Qué tal? How are you? And you just put in front upside down question mark also in Spanish language. Me llamo Juan. My name is Juan. I am Juan. A little bit later I will explain a little bit more when the vocabulary we have under the story, but right now is just me llamo. Me llamo. If whatever is your name, if you remember me llamo, that will be my name. Okay, me llamo. Actually, it's a reflexive verb and the first person singular llamo form. Me llamo. Also, we can see here a beautiful rule of Spanish language which we pronounce double L as y. That's why in Argentina also they can pronounce G instead of y, but I mean that double L is completely very different thing than in English. So Spanish speakers sometimes struggle with L pronunciation in English. Me llamo. So whenever you say double L, it is y. It is not L at all. Double L, and actually in the dictionary it's a separate letter. They have separate letter L and separate letter double L. This is how they show it in dictionary and the entries for those. Me llamo Juan. As we see, J in Spanish language is pronounced h, like hobby, h, okay, hot, hobby. So Juan, so J always is her. So you see quite a bunch of rules here already, many rules in the first line. Soy español, I am Spanish. Soy, we don't have to pronounce yo, we could say yo soy, I am, but not necessarily, just enough, just one form of the verb to be, which is, of course, I am is a singular first person, soy. So very easy to read. Soy español. I am Spaniard or Spanish. As we see in Spanish language, we do not capitalize. We don't put capital letter in front of name of the language or in front of nationality, the same as in Russian we do the same. But in English we have to capitalize the name of the language and the name of nationality. Soy español. I'm Spanish or Spaniard, pero vivo en Londres, but, pero, remember, pero is but. Of course, one T, but. Vivo, I live. So you already see that in first person singular we have endings o, very easy. Yo vivo, I live. Vivo en Londres. Londres is London in Spanish language. Tengo 27 años. In Spanish we say I have 27 years. This is how we say in Spanish. In English we say I am. So when I teach English to Spanish speakers, I always have to correct these kind of mistakes because they put from the native language from Spanish, they always say tengo. They have this kind of mistakes. So in Spanish language, we have I have tengo. And as you see again, for first person singular, we have ending o from the verb tener, to have. 27 is written together, and 20 is 20, 7 is 7. Very easy number. 27 años. Años, ñ, we call letter ñ, it's soft N. Años, años. When I text on my cell, I do not put, I put always Y, even if it is with mistake, but I do not like put ñ without soft, this tilde наверху, наверху I say in Russian, on the top. I don't want to put this, I mean, I do not have this wavy line. That's why if without wavy line, it is like not beautiful. It's very reminding of not something not beautiful. That's why, or like something else. And that's why I always put Y. So they would read it kind of with mistake, but they clearly can read it años. This is how I text. I do not have on my in my cell any other languages. I have different languages in my computers, but in my cell I never have any languages but English. This is how it is convenient. Tengo 27 años. I am 27 years old. Trabajo. I work. Trabajo. I already told you that J we pronounce H, and I already told you that in first person singular ending is O. Trabajo. I work. Trabajo. Aquí. Aquí, remember, beautiful adverb of location, here. Here is aquí. And in Italian, for example, we pronounce qui, but in Spanish, remember this combination U-E, we pronounce only qui. We don't say qu like in Italian we do. If you don't know Italian, you don't worry about it, just remember aquí. Como cocinero. As a cook. Como cocinero. In English, como is as and how. This kind of a little word, como. Y cocinero is a profession. Cocinero is a cook or a chef in the restaurant. Como cocinero. And as we see in Spanish language, they don't have to use indefinite article as we do need to use in English language. I am a cook, I am a chef. Otherwise, we will have mistakes. So, rules with articles, both languages, English and Spanish, have definite and indefinite articles, but the rules of usage would be different. Mi trabajo es un poco aburrido. My work, so here work is a noun. Trabajo, my work. Trabajo here is a noun. Looks the same as first person singular. Yo trabajo, I work. Mi trabajo es is. The verb ser in Spanish language. Surprise, surprise. We have two verbs to be, ser and estar. Estar will be kind of like temporary condition, and es is kind of like permanent, okay? So mi trabajo es, it's kind of permanent here. Es un poco aburrido. Is a little bit. Un poco, beautiful word. Un poco, I mean combination of article. Un poco is a little bit. Remember, a little bit, a little bit, a little, un poco. And by the way, in English we say a little, and in Spanish we say also with indefinite article un poco. Aburrido. Aburrido is boring, and as we see, it agrees with trabajo, because we describe trabajo, which is masculine gender, and we have o, and we have masculine o. If would be description of something feminine, mujer or something, I don't know, would be a ending. Yes, we will be agreeing these endings as we do in French language. So, mi trabajo es un poco aburrido porque todos los días, because is the word because, porque. As we already had the one line up, we had aquí. As you see how we pronounce qui and how we pronounce que. So we don't do Italian que, que, yeah, qua, we don't do this in Spanish. ¿Por qué? Porque todos los días, all the days, all the days. We don't say in English like this, but in Spanish they always, so if you remember is at a phrase, you are the king, because you will be speaking correctly. Todos los días, always like this. Todos los días. El día is masculine gender. So todos los días, always the same little phrase. All days. In English we say all days, means all the days. We don't say in English all the days. So you see the articles they use differently. So in this case, the more little phrases we remember, the better is our language, of original language. The same I teach, students always. Todos los días, preparo. How beautiful. Preparar. And it reminds us of English to prepare. I am preparing. I am cooking. In this case, cooking because he's a cook. Preparo la misma comida. I am preparing the same food. Comida is food, of feminine gender noun. Comida. Misma is the same. La misma. La misma comida para los clientes, for the clients of the restaurant. Para los clientes. And we have a column and explanation. What kind of the same food? Arroz, rice, arroz, carne, meat, carne, pescado, fish, huevos. As we remember, H we don't pronounce in the front, so we say huevos, rancheros, huevos. Arroz, rice, carne, meat, pescado, fish, huevos, eggs, plural. Además, yo soy vegetariano. Además, on the top of everything. Additionally, let's remember this beautiful word, además. It is adverb. It is introductory word oftentimes, right? Además, besides of everything, on the top. Additionally, this is además. Más, if we cut out the first three letters, we have más, more. Okay, so además is on the top of everything. Additionally, yo soy, I am. This is a permanent verb to be. Yo soy, I am. Vegetariano, vegetarian. We can guess this meaning. Vegetariano. Así que nunca como estas cosas. And of course, así is a little word which we put in different places. And here it has, that's how I never eat así que, that's how I never, nunca, we also have jamás, nunca. Como I eat. Again, como we heard here as the little word, and como is the first person singular, como I eat, because comer is to eat, right? Que nunca como, I never eat. Estas cosas, these things. He never eats them, but he cooks them. So he is, of course, bored there. Hablo tres idiomas. I speak. Hablar. Hablar is to speak. Hablo tres idiomas. 3 languages. We know in English idiomatic expression. Idioma is a language. It came to us from Latin or Greek, of course. And the tres idiomas, 3 languages. Catalan, Español, and Inglés. It's very cute for me always that they call in Spain Catalan, but probably it's different from Spanish, probably quite different. That's why they call it a separate language. But for us who do not belong to Spanish culture, I would think that they are kind of related over there. But people who are from Spain, they could explain better, no? But they call it separate language, Catalan. Español. Español is just Spanish. Catalan is Catalan in some areas of Spain. Inglés. Usually the conjunction is I, which we spell as in English one letter Y. However, because in Inglés we start with I, that's why I Inglés, it's not good to pronounce. That's why the variation of conjunction I, which is spelled one more time with English Y, here we are replacing with the variation of inglés. So we could smoothly and beautifully pronounce español, inglés, instead of inglés. We don't do that. I will repeat this sentence. Hablo tres idiomas. I speak three languages: catalán, español, inglés. Inglés is always spelled with stressed in the end. If I don't put stress here, if I forget to put here written acento escrito, we call in Spanish, written acento stress, then I have to say English, which will be mistake. So that's why he needed accent to show accents. Like I said, there are a few rules. They're very easy in Spanish, very easy. In Spanish language is easy to read. Only a few letters you have to remember. Easy to read, absolutely, and easy to write because it has accents have strict rules, and Spanish language. But of course, the grammar, will be the same grammar in English, in Spanish and in French, but they use it completely differently. So grammar we have to study, and how to, subjuntivo is big thing, subjunctive, which in English doesn't exist almost, okay? So Spanish we have to, grammar, Spanish grammar we have to study. The next sentence here, también is also. También, also, or too. In the beginning of sentence, we say also. In the end, we say también too. También, always with acento. For the same reason as English has acento, if I don't put accent here, I will have to pronounce también, which will be mistake. Okay, so I have to say también. Estudio, I study. So I study, as we see, o ending, always first person singular, and the verb is beautiful, estudiar, to study, estudiar. We also can guess this meaning from English, study, estudiar. Francés, look at the spelling of francés. This is our French language. We do not capitalize it. And again, I put here stress, because if I don't put it, I will have to pronounce Frances. No, that's not correct. Frances is have to be stressed. So just remember the spelling, and when you later learn the rules of accentuation, you will know better, how to put them and why. I'm just explaining how it is. Comparto piso. I am sharing apartment. They say piso in Spanish. I mean in Spain, from Spain. Piso is actually the floor, but here in Spanish language from Spain, we use piso as apartamento, as apartment. So comparto piso, I'm comparto, beautiful verb, compartir. Compartir is to share. Yo comparto, I'm sharing. I'm sharing the apartment con tres chicos, with three boys. Chico is a boy, chica is a girl. So con tres chicos, with three boys, with three young men, más with three more people, three more boys. Pedro, Alberto, y Xavier. Xavier, we pronounce x, the first x is Xavier, a Spanish name. And I will repeat all the story one more time. I'm not going to translate it one more time because it's basic story. And then I will go to vocabulary a little bit. Hola, ¿qué tal? Me llamo Juan. Soy español, pero vivo en Londres. Tengo 27 años. Trabajo aquí como cocinero. Mi trabajo es un poco aburrido, porque todos los días preparo la misma comida para los clientes: arroz, carne, pescado, huevos. Además, yo soy vegetariano, así que nunca como estas cosas. Hablo 3 idiomas: catalán, español e inglés. También estudio francés. Comparto piso con 3 chicos más: Pedro, Alberto, y Xavier. And now let's go to vocabulary. Hola, hi, hello, ¿qué tal? How are you? I already explained all of that, but here just a little bit of vocabulary. One more time to repeat, to review. ¿Qué tal? How are you? So make sure you pronounce very soft. For me, because I'm Russian, for me it's very easy to pronounce ketal very soft l. However, for English speakers, it's not easy because in English language we don't have l soft, but in Russian we have very soft, so it's easy. Spanish speakers pronounce Russian very well. Russian people pronounce Spanish very understandable. Maybe we do have our Russian accent. Of course, I don't speak like native Spanish, but they understand me very well. ¿Qué tal? How are you? Me llamo, I am called, my name, me llamo Zoya, my name is Zoya, me llamo, remember this, and remember that the double L always pronounced Y, me llamo, not L at all. And verb llamarse, llamarse, as you see, this reflexive ending is attached in the infinitive, llamarse. To call. The verb is to call, but it's reflexive, so this is how it looks. I'm called, my name is. Tengo X, there should be some kind of digit, some kind of number. Tengo 20, I'm 20 years old, I'm 10 years old, I'm 100 years old, Tengo 20 años, I am 20 years old. Tengo 30 años, I'm 30 years old, and so on. I am, so they use tengo, I have, remember that, tengo, I have so many years, they say. Trabajo como, I work as, trabajo como, and the verb is here, trabajar. I work as cocinero, chef, a chef, cook. Cocinero, cocinar, the verb is to cook. Cocinero. Aburrido, boring. His work is boring. Aburrido, boring. In this case, we treat it as an adjective, aburrido. Hablo, yo hablo, I speak first person singular, hablo. Yo hablo español, yo hablo inglés, yo hablo ruso. Yo hablo all these languages, and hablo, hablar. Hablar is a beautiful verb, to speak. I speak, говорить. Why am I saying in Russian? I don't know. Thank you very much. I hope it was useful for those English speakers who are beginners in Spanish language. It's a cute little story. I just saw it in my files and I decided to make a post. Thank you very much, and till next time. Bye.